Sorry. Shit tripping, man. What's up with y'all, man? Straight to the point. Having some technical difficulties right now, but we back to it. Y'all pound that like button. Y'all hit that like button, man. Don't cost no money. Your boy having a morning, but still gonna grind regardless. Still gotta grind regardless. Rain, sleet, or snow. Shouts out to the whole entire LDBC. Basketball and boxing. We starting off early. Early boxing talk. Well, I'm gonna do it before the brother 78 get on there. Shout out to 78 the general. I know he gonna cook today on that. But I wanted to go live before he do because I definitely wanna step in and catch his live, man. Salute to the whole entire Lions Den. Um, salute to Brown Sugar. She was the first one to know um, about Bud. She caught the news super early, so salute to Brown Sugar for that. Um, she love the fight game, know the fight game. She don't know them Cowboys though, but that's a whole nother story though. I had to get that in there. I had to jab at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make Brown Sugar talk. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes she should sit back in the cut. You know what I'm saying? But I got to throw a jab. I had to get a jab in there. But salute to her and salute to everybody that rocks with me, day ones and new subs. Appreciate y'all share the video. I had a lot of things going on yesterday, so I really couldn't go live like I truly wanted to. But back in action now. Here's my thing about Terrence Bud Crawford. Of course, I reported yesterday that um, Terrence Bud Crawford was officially retiring. Now, in the beginning, I had to do some research and checking around because it wasn't popping up on some of the sources that I usually see, but it was confirmed on X by Bud himself, saying that he's gonna walk away and he has nothing left to prove. And I definitely agree with that. Now I know some people gonna sit up here and they're gonna say, "Oh, nah, he should have kept fighting. He had a lot more to prove, and he wasn't done yet. He haven't been fighting too long. He can't be in the conversation with the greats because he's not 50-0 and just all types of bullshit, right? But I'm here to tell you, Terrence Bud Crawford is in the GOAT conversation. Okay, and it has nothing to do with his flawless record. It has nothing to do with his flawless record. Uh, it has everything to do with the risk reward type of personality that he has. I'm not gonna lie to you. in the very beginning of his career, I doubted Bud. I'm talking about in the very beginning. I'm talking about going back to when the welter days when everybody wanted him and Keith Thurman and him and Earl Spence when all of them were up and coming and everything and everybody wanted them to fight. You know what I'm saying? I kind of doubted Bud, and I'm talking about in the beginning, and I was sleeping on him. I'm talking about in the very beginning, okay? But what made me start taking notice of Terrence Bud Crawford, man, it was a couple of fights, and then of course when he shot. I mean, not. I'm sorry. Well, he did get shot. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing I was getting ready to talk about too. I did not know. I I was able to know his story about what he went through and stuff, and him being shot and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? How he grew up and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And that made me kind of take take heed to who he was. Um, but it was a fight. Of course, the Kell Brooks fight, but then it was the Sean Porter fight. Okay, I know some people gonna say, "Oh, but what about the Earl Spence fight?" I'll get to that in just a minute. But see, with Sean Porter, believe it or not, I like Sean Porter a little bit better than the others. The reason why I like Sean Porter was because of his heart, man. He wasn't the most technically sound fighter. You know what I'm saying? When his moves weren't crisp. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't direct or anything like that. But the thing that I liked about Sean Porter is win, loss, or draw, he fought them all, and that's what I liked about Sean Porter. He wasn't ducking no smoke or anything. Well, Bud was the same way, but the thing about it is, was the narratives that were being pushed by him, and then on top of that, you have to think about it, man. It was a whole lot going on with management. You know what I'm saying? They weren't able to get him the fights that he truly wanted to get. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of business stuff. You know what I'm saying? In which he was getting done wrong. And at that time, I was blinded by that. I didn't really see it, but I started doing my research and stuff, and everybody was trying to villainize Terrence Crawford as if this guy was the one that was trying to evade Earl Spence or trying to stall and all this other stuff. But the case. That wasn't the case. And then they finally made it happen. I give props to both of them. You still got to give props to Errol Spence, not only for of course him going out there and showing the heart and the will and everything, but you got to give props to Errol Spence for making it happen, not listening to everybody else and them going behind the scenes and everything and going ahead and getting this fight happening, this fight to make this happen, because a lot of people wanted this fight. They've been waiting for that fight. You know what I'm saying? And they finally have made it happen. So I give them their props for doing that. Um, of course, everybody talks about the early fight, and just that was a master class. And I think that fight was worse than the Canelo fight, simply because he had got the stoppage, and just like the Canelo fight, in the Earl Spence fight, everybody was against him. Like Terrence Crawford had walked in the villain and came out the hero. The difference, and I hate to bring Mayweather into this. The difference is that with Mayweather is the complete opposite. He started at once, when he was a pretty boy or whatever, he was seen as a hero, and then he started to be the villain, and he stayed the villain, but people still, had that respect for him and stuff like that, but they still villainize him. The difference is with Terrence Crawford, he would walk in the villain, and not only would he walk in the villain, then he would come out the hero. So, like in the case of with the Errol Spence fight, everybody was expecting Earl Spence to put on this master class, and everybody was saying Earl Spence was going to knock him out and was going to stop him and all this other stuff. And then next thing you know, guess what? Hey, Stephen Green, and I give props to Stephen Green. Stephen Green, y'all make sure y'all go sub to Stephen Green. I'm gonna give you your props right now, Stephen. Stephen Green had always, ever since he first came, he remembers, man. I was doubting Bud in the beginning, okay, and I want people to know that I'm true to myself and I don't lie. I don't sit up here and tell false, because what Stephen can attest to what I was saying during that time. Stephen had always, I gotta give props to Stephen Green. He had always been a Bud fan. He was a true. He was always telling me about, there was a couple of other people that was telling me about, Terrence Bud and stuff. But I was always talking about, his resume and stuff like that. But then I started to look at him a little bit more, and then I never really respected Bo Mack, and I felt like of being a trainer of the year. Matter of fact, um, so one could argue, man, a couple of those trainer of the years, man, he should have took away from Derrick James. But that's a whole nother argument for a whole nother day. Yeah, and he did retire on top. He retired on top. Everybody wants to sit up here, oh yeah, he's running, and oh he's ducking Canelo and all this other stuff. No, he's not. He ain't ducking nobody. That motherfucker ain't ducking nobody. Now she goes even. Now look, I'm gonna talk about my boy in just a minute. For those of y'all thinking, that Shakur is gonna take a L in January, Sugar let him know. And Brown Sugar, I know she loves Tank, but she loves some Shakur too. That I do know. But I'm here to tell you, Shakur is gonna put on a master class. But that's a whole nother. We gonna get into talk. I haven't been talking boxing like I should be. That's one of my favorite things to do. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of my boxing heads. You know what I'm saying? To Stephen Green, um, Cypress TV. He be talking about it. Chicken TV. You know what I'm saying? 78, of course. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Trill Boxing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bruce Gas. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to Supreme. Shout out to Coach 67. Um, who else? Shout out to Blue Blood. Real hardcore boxman. Shout out to Ed. You know, shout out to my guy True the King TV. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about guys that I really be talking boxing about. You know, talking boxing with. You know, that can keep going. And Stephen Green is one of them. But he's automatically in the GOAT conversation. He automatically in the GOAT conversation. Um, he's automatically in the GOAT conversation. First off, and like I said on my boy Pull Up podcast when he was talking about boxing, shout out to BJ and them. When I said on his platform, some motherfuckers try to get on there and try to argue with me talking about he wasn't 3-time undisputed. Yes, he's a 3, not 1, not 2, 3. 3-time undisputed. The first fighter to do that. First fighter in the 4-belt era. Never been done. Then on top of that, some people say it's 2. Technically, it's really 3. He climbed up multiple weight classes to get up to 168. Right? Didn't even have all these tune-ups and none of that other stuff. And came in and defeated my favorite fighter, Canelo Alvarez. Came in and straight up dominated. And on top of that, he did it with him being the villain, with against his back against the wall, with everybody saying that he was gonna lose, with everybody saying that, well, man, what the hell are you doing? With everybody doubting him, with everybody talking shit, with everybody already giving Canelo the victory. And he came in and he dominated. And on top of that, he made history. And on top of that, he walking out on top. And on top of that, he's flawless in terms of the record. And on top of that, he undisputed in multiple divisions. Man, come on, man. Look, I know, Mayweather, he defeated all the champions, stuff like that, but he ain't take no risk like Crawford did. He wasn't as entertaining as Crawford is. I mean, he might be entertaining in terms of, the media and all that other stuff. Crawford is that dude. Love him or hate him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, look, everybody wants, this guy, he getting out at a time when, he still has his mobility. Okay? His brain is still good. You know what I'm saying? He ain't walking around here punch drunk. Okay? And that's no disrespect to some of the other fighters, but now I'm going to take it to a whole nother angle. Let's go ahead and talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk since some of y'all don't want to talk. Y'all don't want to put nothing on the table because you're afraid. No, let's put it out on the table. He's not going to hang around for nothing. Okay? Like LeBron James is. Yes, I said it. Hanging around just collecting dust. No, he's not going to do that. What is he going to sit here and do? What else does he have left to prove? He doesn't need to go up to 175. He doesn't need to do any of that. He went up to 168. That was enough for him. And he took out a monster. He took out who everybody said was the face of boxing and became the face of boxing and became the number 1 pound for pound in a lot of people's eyes. Some people had other people like Usyk or whatever. I don't care if y'all leave. Oh, well, y'all don't want to talk about boxing. I'm still going to talk about it. I don't care how sensitive you get. Y'all don't like the fact that he came up there. You don't like nobody being better than Mayweather and all that. Oh, my God, man, somebody better than him. No, we going to talk about it. And if you don't want to talk about boxing, get your ass up out of here. Get up out of here. Goodbye. Got to learn to talk about other stuff other than the same goddamn thing all the time. That's what I keep telling you. NBA doesn't know. I mean, we're gonna talk about it in a little bit, but we're talking about Terrence Bud. Let him have his day. Talk about other shit. Don't be one dimensional. I'm not repetitive around here. No, we're gonna talk about other stuff. I am gonna talk about Rob Reiner. Okay? That situation. I do get into entertainment. Nah, we got to talk about other stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? We talk about this economy, this ready to overturn even more. Let Bud have his day. He deserves it. This right here was I got to say it. It was a hard fought life for him, and a happy storybook ending, man. And I like the way that he went out, man. I like the way that he went out. A lot of people don't want to sit up here, want to say, oh man, why is he retiring and stuff like that. Man, the man is 38, 39 years old. Okay, some people say that, man, if you box, a little bit later in your career, you're at risk of a lot of things happening. Like, look at Earl Spence, and this is no disrespect to Earl Spence. I got a lot of love for Earl Spence representing Texas all day and stuff. But look at the way that he talks, and look at the way that Bud talks. You know what I'm saying? It's a complete difference. You don't want him getting out of there, with him having issues and CTE and him being punch drunk and stuff like that. Nah, get out when he's still fresh. And on top of that, he can still give back to the sport. Don't forget, you got a monster in Shakur still in here, okay? You still got Devin Haney up in this bitch, okay? In my eyes, okay? Top fighters on the planet: Usyk, Haney, and that motherfucker Shakur Stevenson. Those are the top three guys on the planet. I don't care what you say. And Shakur gonna show you. All this stuff about, oh yeah, let's go ahead and let's talk about it right now. You said, what do you think Earl feel about Crawford retiring? Earl keep talking. Man, talking about a rematch? What the hell? What the hell? Whoa, no. That was a long time ago. He should have went ahead and did rematch him right away. Now I understand the situation, you know what I'm saying, with his eye, with his retina, you know, but at the same time, because he had to, I think he had to have surgery and stuff. That was a big risk, but you had time to do all of that. Bud waited. There was a rematch clause. You know, the team was waiting. They were waiting. I mean, what is he gonna sit there and wait? Was he gonna wait 1 year, 2 years? No, not back in the day, Steven. When you showed up at that, well, when somebody, when they wanted to run it back, they ran that motherfucker back. The classic run backs that I think about is Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis. That's how you run shit back. You know what I'm saying? That's how you run it back. Ali and Frazier. That's how you run it back. You know what I'm saying? Even with Canelo and Triple G, that's how you run it back. Mayweather, who was it? Maidana, I think he fought twice. You're supposed to run it back right away. You know what I'm saying? Run that motherfucker back, man. Even with the whole Tank and Lamont Roach situation, Lamont Roach was waiting. You know what I'm saying? Run it back. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you want to sit there. You talking about fighting other guys besides Bud and stuff like that, Fandora. Then you, man. Matter of fact, Earl Spence should have retired before Bud did. I'm just being real with you. First off, because of his health, and second off, man, he's just mentally that took a lot out of him. Yeah, but it's not gonna happen. Listen, they don't have the perseverance. Listen, Devin Haney, he wants to smoke. Tank, he wants to smoke. You know what I'm saying? Chaz Bud Cropper, he wants to smoke. Motherfuckers don't want no smoke. If he wanted to smoke, he would have stepped right back in there, got his get back or tried to at least, and did it. But he did it. He didn't do that. Talking about some rematch. No. And like I said, this is coming from an Earl Spence fan. Okay? I fuck with Earl Spence. But everybody was waiting, like, what you gonna do? There were some people saying, oh no, he shouldn't fight again, all this other stuff. I beg to differ. I'm like, go ahead and run that shit back. Cause you never know what could happen. You know, come in, make your adjustments or whatever the case is. But nah, man. He talking about a rematch, and he has no. He can't be mad or bitter. Hey, he waited for you. Bomac waited for you. That's one thing I'll say about Bomac. As much shit as they talk about Bomac and stuff like that, Bomac got his own way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? He kind of like he got that my cousin Vinny type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He looked like a trainer that's a prima donna, but he knows what the fuck he's doing. You know what I'm saying? You like, damn, the motherfucker don't look like no trainer, but he gets shit done. You know what I'm saying? And they waited him and his team. They waited for Bud. They waited for him. They waited for him, man. How long do you want him to wait? Y'all want him to sit there and wait 2 years and stuff like that, man. He's not getting no older. I mean, he's not getting no younger. You want to wait till he's 40 something years old? No. People act like, I mean, he might look and move young, but he's still older. He's still, you know what I'm saying, well into his late 30s. I mean, it is stronger. It's just nobody's paying attention to it though. It's not as strong as, you know what I'm saying, like back in the day. No, you're right about that. But Usyk is dominating. I like the way Usyk fight. Y'all might think he boring. Nah, I love the way Usyk fight. Y'all just don't pay attention. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't pay attention to the science of this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I want to see a little entertainment over there. Sit down and pay attention. That's what some of y'all don't know how to do. Pay attention. But you can't do that. I want to see knockouts. Then you get mad because somebody get knocked the fuck out because the fight didn't last that long. Pay attention to the science. Pay attention to the fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? Like the cerebral side of boxing and stuff like that. That's what Usyk brings to the game. Every fighter ain't gonna be, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh, rah 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 and all this other stuff. Nah, sometimes you gotta pay attention and watch. About to fight another one. He got another fight coming up. Hold on, don't hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second.